Right, we are going to be looking at a very interesting afternoon. Here's a look at Amyville Elementary School in Santa Fe. As we put this into motion, you can see that the clouds start to bubble up over the city of Santa Fe, and we are starting to see some pretty good definition with some of these clouds. Now, we don't have a whole lot of moisture to work with in the atmosphere right now, but we have enough to get a little bit of definement with these clouds, and we're trying to get a little bit of moisture going and get some of the clouds to develop a little bit of shower activity. And we're even seeing a few sprinkles even in the Albuquerque metro area with some of that cloud development. 81 degrees the current temperature with a west wind at 9 miles per hour. Temperatures across the north into the 70s and even into the 80s across the northeastern corner of the state, down to the south into the 80s and into the 90s as you move across the southeast. We're already at 94 degrees in Roswell and 96 in Carlsbad. Another warm to somewhat hot afternoon on the way, and the winds starting to boost up once again this afternoon, especially across the Four Corners where we do not need the wind. We're up to a 38-mile-per-hour wind gust already in Gallup, 28 in Grants, 25 in Farmington, also dealing with wind gusts between 30 and 35 miles per hour across other portions of the north. Las Vegas up to a 37-mile-per-hour wind gust, Socorro up to 33, and we will continue to deal with some gusty winds throughout the afternoon. The good news is the winds will not be quite as bad as what we saw yesterday. I know that's very little to help out with the winds, at least for today, but at least the winds are starting to trend down, and we'll continue to see the winds trend down over the next couple of afternoons. So especially the farther north and west you go today, we will continue to deal with some of those gusty winds. Winds come down through the overnight. Again, tomorrow we deal with another round of wind, but again, tomorrow not quite as windy as what we saw today, and we will continue to see those winds trend down into the upcoming weekend. By Friday, we're going to be looking at much less wind, in fact just breezy conditions at best, so that will certainly help out with some of the fires that we have going across the state. And what would also help out is if we can get a few showers going. We're trying to squeeze out a few showers across the central part of the state, and a few drizzle showers are out there right now. We will try to bump up the moisture over the next couple of days from the south, but at least for today and tomorrow, moisture is going to be pretty limited. So outside of a few spot showers, we're not going to see much for today and tomorrow, mainly just a few spot storms for this afternoon, and it will stay on the warm side. Tomorrow, we'll see even fewer storms as we continue to work in some dry air. So things stay fairly quiet and hot with the breezy conditions continuing. But as we approach Friday, we try to pull up a little bit of moisture from the south. And right now, models are trying to trend that moisture into eastern New Mexico at least. I know we could use some of that shower activity across the west, but at least we're trying to get that moisture to move a little farther to the west and at least get the east into the mix for some showers as we approach the upcoming weekend. It will be interesting to see how that plays out, and we'll keep you updated over the next couple of days. Southern Colorado into the 70s for today with partly sunny skies. We'll stay mainly dry through the end of the week, and then perhaps a few more storms toward the end of the weekend and early next week. Over the northwest, mix of sun and clouds, winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. So a little bit better than those winds that we were dealing with yesterday, gusting up to around 55 miles per hour. Temperatures into the 90s by the time we approach the weekend, so the heat definitely starting to crank back up. Over the southwest, breezy with winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour. We could see a spot storm, but then drier for Thursday and Friday. Over the southeast, scattered storms possible. We could see a couple on the severe side, especially across the far eastern edge of the state, and we'll continue with that chance at a couple of showers of storms toward the weekend. Over the northeast, isolated storms possible here. We'll see better chances of showers and storms into the end of the weekend and early next week. Over the northern mountains, spot storms possible, winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour, dry for Thursday and Friday, and then storm chances returning by the weekend. Over the east mountains, isolated storms, winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. In the metro, we'll see a chance at a couple of storms as well, with highs in the mid to upper 80s. We'll continue to see those temperatures warm up as we dry out toward the end of the week, but then we return to a chance at a few more storms by the beginning of next week.
Okay, thanks, John.